As you've seen in the previous lecture, actual visual tree can be much deeper than a logical. The nature of a declarative markup dictated to the developers of WPF framework to introduce complicated properties which can propagate their values through the tree of objects, properties with a complex logic of value providers precedence, events which can propagate through the tree in both directions, from the bottom up and vice versa from the top to bottom. Let's consider these concepts one by one. Dependency properties are not built on top of ordinary .NET properties. On the contrary, classes which declare dependency properties in addition declare ordinary .NET properties, which wrap those dependency properties with intention to be visible in the XAML editor. You almost never set a dependency property using dependency properties mechanism directly. You set them via simple .NET properties. You can see the code snippet on the slide. It defines an attached property security ID and ordinary dependency property named size. Dependency properties under the hood are implemented as a slick dictionary of their descriptions and their values. They are stored in a highly optimized pool. This is done so because WPF needs to instantiate tons of objects, and it can't afford itself to allocate megabytes of redundant objects. CPU caches are still relatively small. Pure dependency property will be shown in the module about templates. We will see how to create a custom control and add a dependency property to it. Dependency properties support notifications out of the box. When the value of a dependency property changes, WPF can automatically trigger some actions like re-rendering the UI elements, updating the current layout, refreshing data bindings, and much more. These actions are configured through the dependency property metadata. Dependency properties support inheritance of values. It means that the dependency property value can flow down the element tree. Font size and font style are the examples of such a behavior. You must be aware of that .NET property wrappers are bypassed at runtime when setting dependency properties from XAML. Attached property is a special case of dependency property. Attached property can be attached to any object you like. For example, text element.fontSize is an attached property. To sum up, dependency properties support the following features: property value inheritance, change notifications, data binding, value providers precedence, default values, animation, and styling. Let's look at attached properties in practice, and then we will define our own attached property.